What's up, guys? Mason the Rock Henderson here, and not a bad result. I mean, well, obviously, but not a bad performance either. The first half definitely was not good, and I'll talk about some of that stuff in a second. But as far as the second half is concerned, I mean, we really stepped it up. We took it to them. We made sure, didn't let them really have much of a chance. They had like one in the second half, and we did create some decent opportunities. I mean, we didn't. The finishing still isn't there, and that is, again, something else I will talk about later. But as far as the performance is concerned, as far as the work ethic that we put in, overall it was very good. It's just still some problems, still some very serious problems. So first of all, just from the sorry side of things, I mean, you go with, once again, that front three with no recognized striker. You have Hazard in the false nine, which we know he's not playing very well in right now, and yet he continues to try it. I don't mind Hudson-Odoi getting a break just because he did start the last two games. So, yeah, you give him a break this game, that's fine. It's not anything shocking. I'm not saying, he doesn't deserve to be playing, but I do understand why he didn't start today. I do think he needs a bit of a break. I still think, that midfield is going to be a problem as long as Jorginho's there. And, of course, having Alonso on the left side is always going to be a problem until he wises up and gets Zappacosta or Emerson on the field over Alonso, because he's not good enough. So as far as that's concerned, there are changes he needs to make, for sure. But the biggest problem I have with Sarri is you can tell he's made the team worse in certain areas. First one I've already talked about this season is the set pieces. I mean, this is how many times have we given up such good chances on set pieces, and we gave up a goal today on a set piece just because we don't defend them well. And honestly, we don't even really attack set pieces very well. I mean, how many goals have we scored on a corner this year? Maybe one, and we've had probably upwards of 50, if I had to guess. And yet we can't score because we're not dangerous. The crosses we're putting in aren't quite good enough. The runs that are being made aren't quite good enough. The runs after the second ball comes in aren't good enough. You got that flick on, and nobody moves to it. It's like everybody's watching, like, what's going to happen next? And then they clear it, and now screwed. So I just don't understand how we've gotten worse on set pieces under Sarri, because we used to be one of the best teams when it came to that. We hardly ever let chances come in on set pieces. This year, pretty much every corner that we've given up, okay, not every, almost every, I'd say probably 70 to 80% has led to a good chance. Whether they scored or whether they skied it over, it's led to a good chance most of the time, and that's not good enough. You should not be giving up that many chances off of corners, especially when you're a team with our quality. And then on attacking corners, like I said, we've had a lot of corners this year, and I can only think of like one or two that we've scored on. That's not good enough. And even beyond that, as far as creating chances on corners, I mean, today, how many did we have? Like 6 or 7, I think? And we only created a good chance off of one, really. And it ended up being a foul in the end, so it didn't really matter. But that's not good enough, especially when you have quality, when you have players that can put in a great cross like Hazard. Willian at times is a little shaky, but you've got players that can do that. So why are we not attacking it? Why are we not winning these? Why are we not creating chances from it? It's probably because Sarri doesn't work on it. He's not a coach that cares about that, and it shows. It really does show when we get to the set piece situation. So that's a problem. And then on top of that, we're so much more mentally fragile this year, because you look at teams with confidence like Liverpool, like Man City. Most of the time when they score, what happens? 2, 3, 4 even sometimes. With us, we score. Sit back. You don't want to. Oh my gosh, we don't know what we're doing, guys. We don't know what we're doing. We scored early. What do we do? What do we do now? I don't understand. We're ahead. What happens next? It's bizarre. We've had so many games this year where we have scored first in like the first 10 minutes of the game, and then just all of a sudden turn into a Newcastle, and we're just packing it in. We're getting pushed back. We have no chances after that. I mean, really, the rest of the first half after we scored, it was mainly Newcastle. I mean, obviously, it's partially they're reacting to that, and they're coming back at us. But you would think what ends up happening with Liverpool and Man City most of the time, they press higher against Liverpool and Man City like a team like Newcastle does, and they get hit on the break. Because Liverpool and Man City have the attacking talent, and they have the confident defenders to do so. With us, because our midfield at times can be a little weak, it's not very connected, and on top of that, up top, we don't have any big bodies or we don't have enough skill or not necessarily enough skill. We don't have enough connectivity up top to where whenever somebody wins the ball, there's an option for them. Most of the time, it's they win it, and then they have to wait, and then there's no options, and then we have to go back, and now Newcastle packed it in again. So we don't ever create enough chances after we score, and then we don't get another goal, and then all of a sudden Newcastle comes flying back at us, and now we're nervous, and we're only up a goal, and then we let in a goal, and now, oh crap, now they equalized. It happens way too many times. I swear it's happened at least half of the games this year, where we've gone up early and then just completely got blown away after that. That's not good enough. And honestly, I don't remember that happening under the other managers. I don't remember that happening under Mourinho or Conte or even, some of the other crap managers like AVB. That never happened to us. It's only since Sarri has come in that we get a goal, and then all of a sudden we look very, very shaky defensively. We look like we're going to give away an equalizer. That's just bizarre. And the talent we have, the level we play at, that shouldn't be happening. So I don't know what Sarri's done. I don't know. It may be his system. It may be the players he trusts that aren't playing well enough. I don't know what's going on, but we definitely have some issues that I feel like are always going to keep us just out of the title race and just out of winning a trophy. And that's going to be a problem because we're not going to get rid of them right away because, we're in the top four. We're in the semifinals of the League Cup and we're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the Europa League. So what? There's no problem. And then we're knocked out of all the... We end up trophyless. We're just at the end of the Champions League, just barely make fourth place because Man U and Arsenal aren't good enough. That's not good enough. I don't want to be there. I want to be challenging for the title. And based on what I've seen from Sarri, we're never going to be that under him. We're always going to be that Tottenham that's just barely there, but not quite. That's not what I want to be at Chelsea. So, that's my Sarri rant. I know I have one of these pretty much every video, but... well, he gives me reason to, so what can I say? As far as the individuals are concerned, Kepa did okay. The goal, not much he can do on that one. It was a very nicely taken header. It was right down in the corner, so it would have taken something fantastic. Once again, why did we pay that much money if he's not fantastic? Defensively, I thought all of our defense, bar Alonso, did great. Spilicueta was once again top of his game. I thought his game against Spurs was one of the best of the season. Honestly, he kept that going today. Kept providing the options out wide, kept getting up and back. It's incredible to me the amount of people that just praise Van Dijk. Oh, he's such a great defender. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. Do you watch him whenever the other team is breaking and they've gone up for a corner? Because it is astounding to me. You watch Van Dijk whenever Liverpool are up on a corner and then they give a ball away and the other team is breaking. And he's getting back fairly fast because he's athletic enough to where he doesn't have to go full speed to be fast. But he's not sprinting. It's not 100% sprint. He's just kind of, 75, 70% sprint. Aspilicueta and Rudiger both. I mean, I swear, Rudiger, you can watch him after, if on a corner we give away a free kick, he's gone, just running back as fast as he can. They haven't even put the ball down yet to take the free kick. He's already like halfway back to defend. Aspilicueta, anytime we gave up the ball, if he was ever in the attack, back, just instantly. I'm like, how can you say that Van Dijk is the best defender in the Premier League when you watch the effort he puts in? Oh, he's just so good. He's very athletic. He's a lazy defender, though. I would much rather take a Rudiger or an Aspilicueta who work their butts off game after game than a Van Dijk who's just very athletic and he's just naturally good in that position, but he's lazy. It's going to cause problems. So, yeah, I look at those two and I'm just like, those are the quintessential defenders that I want to have in my team because they both work hard. Aspilicueta for me is really taking his game to the next level by making his positioning better on the field too, so that's great to see. The only disappointing thing for him really is the fact that he was never really found when he got in those positions. I mean, he was almost always open and providing the options. It's just sometimes Jorginho doesn't want to turn his head at all to look, so he's like, I'll pass it back into pressure. And then Rudiger, a couple times he does make some mistakes on the ball, but I don't see him as a ball-playing defender. I see him better, just at the defensive side of things. Which does take me to David Luiz. Kind of the opposite. He's gotten better defensively. He's gotten better at not making as many mistakes and not being as crazy of a defender. But the one thing that I am really glad we have him in the team for now is on the ball, he's fantastic. And I mean, I talked about that. I think I talked about the one goal he set up for Conte a couple games ago. Almost exactly the same thing with Pedro today, except this one was even better because he even fooled the defender by making it look like he's going to play to Aspilicueta and then finding Pedro in behind. I mean, that's impressive, and it really does look like it's so effortless for him sometimes to just find that ball over the top. And especially because we got rid of Fabregas, who could do that so well too, the fact that he's able to do it and we can keep playing him there and he's not really hurting us as much defensively anymore, it's good to know. It's a good feeling to have, to think, okay, we can trust him in that position now. We don't have to worry about the defensive side of things for him. However, onto Alonso, because they're on the same side, I don't expect David Luiz to cover for him. I don't expect him to be really good enough to do both sides of it, to cover his player and also cover when Alonso makes his mistakes. And that's why I still think to have David Luiz on Alonso's side doesn't really make sense to me. And I'm shocked we haven't looked at switching things up yet, but what do I know? It's not like I've been saying that we're leaky defensively and we keep giving up goals almost every game. We do. But yeah, Alonso, once again today, just didn't provide much. He gives the ball away too easily, doesn't defend very well. I think the best example of why I don't like having Alonso on the side happened in the first half, where literally all he has to do is just play it around the defender, find Willian, who's in space, and what does he do? Hits the defender takes it past him, and then he pulls him to the ground. No, he tries to pull him to the ground and then falls over because he's too weak to pull him to the ground. And then all of a sudden Newcastle are off and creating a chance. That's not good enough at this level. To play for a team like Chelsea, if you make that mistake once in a game, sure, that's not a problem. It's whatever. People make mistakes. Rudiger makes mistakes too on the ball. I've talked about that. He's not the best. But defensively, he works hard, he makes up for it. And on top of that, those mistakes happen maybe like 2 or 3 times in a game. For Alonso, I'd say probably 10 is his average per game as far as mistakes are concerned. The amount of giveaways, the amount of times defensively he makes a mistake, that's not good enough. You can't make 10 mistakes in a game for playing at the top level. You're going to give up goals. You're going to give away chances because of that. And we do with him on the field. Not all of them are his fault, but some of them are. And a lot of the time, whenever a play breaks down, it's because of him somehow. Whether it's a bad pass that leads to another bad pass, or whether it's just a bad cross that leads to nothing. I mean, he does it way too much. And I don't like having that on the field, especially because whenever Zappacosta plays or whenever Emerson plays, it doesn't feel like they give the ball away that much. Maybe once or twice, but not as much as Alonso does. And that's a problem. So, don't know why we're not doing anything different, but hey, what can you say? Sarri is going to do what Sarri does, and he's not going to change for anybody. And on that note also, into the midfield, once again, Kovacic and Conte both played well. And Jorginho, not good enough. Not good enough. Again, the giveaways, the amount of times he passes sideways, the amount of times he has to go back when we're on the attack, and then a bad touch, or he doesn't have an idea, or he doesn't know what he wants to do. We got to turn around and go backwards. I mean, Hazard even said when we were selling Fabregas, kind of his little farewell thing, he even said Fabregas just has a sense of what he wants to do. It's amazing. It doesn't seem like he sees anything, and just in one touch, he finds the perfect pass right onto their foot. What does Jorginho do to deserve being out there? We got rid of Fabregas and kept Jorginho. And I'm thinking about all the great passes, all the great attacks that were started, even this season from Fabregas. I mean, the few games he played, he started at least like 10 or 15 attacks just in those few games. Jorginho has played in almost every game, in every Premier League game for sure, and I can think of 3 off the top of my head that he started. Okay, 4. Most of them were in the first few games, though, before people knew how to play against him. And now that people know, you just put pressure on him and then he goes sideways, and that's it. That's all you got to worry about. Just don't let him have time to find a ball over the top, which most teams don't because they're going to put pressure on you. But if he doesn't have 3 or 4 seconds to find that pass over the top, it's not happening. And even then, most of the time, it's like a chipped ball over the top. It's that little dink chip that the defender has plenty of time to get up under it and head it away. Whereas Fabregas, There's power on it. It's dipping. It's dipped over the defender, like with David Luiz's ball today for Pedro, and they don't have time to react. They don't have time to adjust and then get the header away. Jorginho, dink. Oh, thank you for that. Headed away. And it's not good enough. And God, I swear, Sarri must have a hard-on right now because now he doesn't even have to switch Jorginho out for the cup games because guess what? He's the only distributor we have, and that's all Sarri wants to put there. He doesn't want to put a defensive midfielder there. He only wants a distributor there. So now we've got him for pretty much every game. I'm going to laugh my ass off if we get to these cup competitions where he's normally been switching everybody out and Jorginho plays in those cup competitions from now on because Fabregas is gone. I'm going to laugh so hard. I'm going to be like, really? You really think that he can play full 90 minutes, 2 games in a row, like Jorginho, the guy who can barely even keep up with a player like Iosi Perez? You think he can be fit enough stamina to go... just watch, though. It's going to happen because Sarri loves Jorginho. He will not take him off the field, even if Jorginho spat in his coffee and then pissed on his cake. Jorginho would be fine. He would not be taken off the field. Sorry to be like, oh, he had a reason for doing that, I'm sure. Anyway, so clearly, I'm not a big fan. So the front three, Hazard, Pedro, and Willian, again, still not as effective as it would be with having a striker up there, or even with having those three be a bit closer together. Because when you have them so spread out, there's still just not enough movement to justify it. So I don't know why we're not looking at something a bit different, a bit more interchanging, a bit more runs inside instead of everybody staying outside and then coming in at the last second. There's just not enough up there, and it really hurts us. As far as the performances, though, Hazard, first half, kind of kept out of it for a lot of it. It wasn't until the second half he started dropping a bit deeper and getting on the ball a lot more, and all of a sudden, hey, look at that, he's more effective. I swear Sarri told him at the beginning of the game, stay higher. Because it felt like that's what he was doing. It felt like he was just staying as high as he could and not dropping as much as he wanted to. Because then second half, when it looked like he was playing how he wanted to, all of a sudden he's just tearing him up and he's causing problems. Pedro looked pretty effective again today. He's very talented, very good at working back, keeping possession, and trying to keep us out of danger. And Willian, he's still not playing the best he can, and there's still a couple wasted opportunities from him, but I'm glad that after all of these run of games where he's not been that effective, he's not been very dangerous, he pops up with a wonder goal to win it for us. I'm hoping that helps his confidence a little bit because, like I've said before, I like Willian as a player. I like the work he puts in. I like how hard he works and also how easy it seems for him to move. Because at times there are players that it feels like at the end of the game they're just dying. It feels like they can't get moving at all. It looks like their legs are dead. With Willian, it never feels like that. It feels like even at the end of the game, if he's been running all game, all of a sudden he can still go. So I feel like that's very valuable. And to have a player not only that works back, but also that can still go that late, that is a very valuable player. And it's no wonder Barcelona wants to get him. However, like I said, he hasn't been that effective. So it's good to see him get that goal. It's good to see, hopefully, he gets some confidence from that because we do need him to get better. We do need him to step up in the production part of things because he hasn't been doing it. Even today, there are moments, wasted chances, one-on-one with the keeper, drags it wide, one-on-one with the keeper, not enough lift on the chip. How many times did he cross the ball right into Yedlin instead of trying to, take it around him or something? So, yeah, it's a small problem, but it is a problem. And I've been asking why he keeps playing. That is why he keeps playing, because he works hard and he does put a lot of effort in on both sides of things. So take what you will from that, but I hope that goal does give him some confidence and it allows him to step up his game and keep working hard. As far as the subs are concerned, Barkley comes in for Kovacic because he's going to make the same exact changes he does every game. And hey, I know what I've done every single game this year and it hasn't really worked once, so let's do it again. But yeah, the reason why Kovacic is coming out over Jorginho, again, a lot of people are saying Jorginho has Sarri nudes. I'm not saying that's the reason, but I'm not saying that's the reason. Anyways, and then Hudson-Odoi comes on for Pedro. A little bit late in my opinion. I feel like you could have brought him on at 70th minute, just allowed him to grow into the game a little bit more. And then Giroud comes on with 5 minutes left. And at that point it's just a wasted sub. So I really wish he'd make subs a bit earlier to affect the game and not these like for like subs, like Barkley for Kovacic and Hudson-Odoi for Pedro. I actually want to see subs that are going to change something. Giroud should come on first to give yourself a striker after we get that goal. Give yourself a target man, which allows you to keep more players up the field. You can send it long, he can win it for you, flick it on to somebody else. Because Newcastle are going to push higher, there's going to be more space in behind him. So it just seems like that would be the obvious choice. But he doesn't do that first. First he brings on Barkley, which does nothing to help us. And then he brings on Hudson-Odoi for Pedro, which is just, it's a little bit more effective because Hudson-Odoi's coming on with fresh legs. But that's the only change that it makes. And then with 5 minutes left, he brings on Giroud. It's like there's not enough time for him to get involved. That's not enough time for him to do anything effective. It's not enough time for us to get acquainted to having a target man up top. So it's just really a wasted sub. It does nothing for us. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going on in Sarri's mind, and at times I don't know if I want to know what's going on in his mind because it seems like he's just lost. So, yeah, that's about it. Another narrow win. It kind of feels like that's going to be the story of our season until we either get rid of Sarri or until Sarri finally realizes, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I need to change some stuff. But yeah, we'll see what happens. That's it for me, though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews. I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.